Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope that wherever you are in the world, today has been treating you well. I will start this video by saying I have been having some technical issues with my camera this morning. I have been sat here for much too long trying to figure out what button I've pressed to make it go funky. As I'm looking at this, I'm very aware that something is different. I just don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what button I've pressed. I don't know what setting I've changed. Something is wrong. I'm hoping that when I come to edit this in a couple of days, I will have figured it out. And hopefully this is the only video that looks a little bit off. But let's just dive straight on into what the actual video is about. I'm not going to rant about my camera for the whole time. But if I cover this up, I got a box from Cosmic Beauty. This I am hoping, I mean I haven't even opened it yet. This I am hoping is the Muse palette. So we're going to dive into that. I'm going to do some swatches and I'm going to create some sort of eye look with this palette. Today I will be doing an eyeshadow palette bingo with this palette coming very, very soon. I will probably be filming that like in the next couple of days. So if you want to see that, subscribe. If you want to see more content from the Muse palette or from any of the other Cosmic Brushes palettes, I have a whole playlist dedicated just to the Cosmic Brushes eyeshadow palettes because I am the biggest fan. But let's just dive on into this one, shall we? So, the grand reveal. Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, it's been a while since I actually looked at what this palette looks like, but I'm very, very excited. Now, I do struggle to get these sleeves off the outside. There we go. We are in. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. Pretty, pretty. And like I say, it's been a while since I looked at this. There's some greens. There's some greens. Oh, I feel like I've done loads of looks recently that are green and purple all in one. And I may have to do another one. I may have to do another one, but this is what the palette looks like. So I do feel like this is more autumnal than, I mean, I feel like it's quite similar to Serenity, but a little bit deeper, a little bit grungier, sort of almost like in the middle of Serenity and like Undergrowth. Like some of these down, like these two down at the bottom are definitely giving me Undergrowth vibes, but so pretty. That antique shade in the bottom corner, that's calling my name. I mean, they all are. They all are, really. Yeah. What am I gonna do? I will say, quite often I look at palettes like this, and where the background is this like mauvey grey sort of tone, quite often that makes the colours sort of pull that way. I do find swatching new eyeshadow palettes, or like new to me eyeshadow palettes, very useful because then it like takes that colour out and puts my skin tone in place of that, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go off and swatch all of these. I'm not gonna live swatch them because otherwise this video will be 7 hours long. And you will have already seen, if you've seen my channel before, you will have already seen me like live swatching Cosmic Brushes eyeshadow palettes, and I think that they are fantastic. So let me go off, do some swatches, and then we can come back and create some sort of eye look together. How about that? I'm very excited by a lot of these shades though. Very, very excited. Okay, so this is what the whole colour story is looking like. When I was looking at this in the palette, I felt like this like mustardy yellow felt quite random, like it didn't really go. But actually quite a few of the like greeny tones have more of that sort of mustardy, yellowy undertone. So I feel like that fits really, really nicely. I do love this shade, as I suspected. That one is called Antique, and I love that. I think I want to do something a little bit more purpley leaning today, maybe with sort of like a green smoky wing rather than doing a liquid liner wing, because that's what I always do. Might try and change it up a little bit, but that is what all of those colours are looking like. It is a beautiful colour story, definitely more autumnal, but as always with cosmic brushes palettes, the mattes are incredibly pigmented and the shimmers are really smooth and really reflective, which of course is what you want. So now let's try and come up with some sort of eye look. So like I say, I think I want to go a little bit more purpley pinky rather than green. I definitely want to use this shimmer, which is that Antique. I feel like that will actually go quite nicely with the greens and with like the purples, because it's got sort of both undertones. So I think that's the like shimmer that I want to use, maybe with this shimmer as well, which is called Whisper, which is so like foiled. It's so pretty. I mean, so many of these shades are insane. Like this green here, which is called Inspire, like tell me that that doesn't like perfectly match my nails. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have these nails on though, like they're looking a little rough, but let's just start with the eyeshadow, shall we? I have already put an eye primer on, which is the Beauty Bay one, and I used, what brow did I use today? The e.l.f. little micro pencil in neutral brown, and the Primark brow gel that I can't stop using. So I'm going to first start with, let's start with Petal, which is this matte down at the bottom here, on a fluffy brush. Let me get my mirror, which is all the way over here, and also purple. And I'm just going to wiggle this through the crease. Okay, so I have just added my classic, some just regular sellotape, just added that onto the outer corner because I do think I want to just sort of blend into, like perhaps blend a green like into that to create that wing shape. So I've just stuck that sellotape onto my face, and I will add more of that Petal shade, just build up that same one right onto the outer corner, just to, you know, really start that shape. And that's a beautiful like pinky transition tone, so pretty. I really like that that undertone. It's not too cool tone, but it definitely is sort of acting like a shadow. I really hope that my camera's focusing. At this stage, I have no idea. None at all. So I'm just grabbing a much smaller, more tapered brush, and I'm dipping into Rosewood, which is this shade here. And I feel like if I take that quite lightly and like literally just one little dip and tap it right off and then start wiggling that through the crease, I'm hoping that this is going to have more of that like purpley undertone. There isn't really a deep matte purple. There isn't. All of the deeper purple shades are shimmers, which I don't love using like through the crease. Just personal preference, you know. But I'm hoping that this one, yeah, I mean that's working. It's blending out into that sort of purplier undertone. It's definitely doing what I need it to do. So then once I have got all of that colour in, I'm just going back over with that first fluffy brush, not with any more colour on it, but just blending that out. I do like the colour that has gone once I've blended it out, but I feel like a deeper purple may have been useful to me in this moment when I decided that I wanted to go purple. I think a deeper purple would have been quite useful, because like there just really isn't one. So I'm going to take that Whisper shade, this one on the outer corner, and then this one, which is Antique, on like the inner part of the eye, and then I will do some sort of green wiggly something along the lash line to create like a little bit of a wing. So this is what Whisper looks like. So pretty, like matches my jumper pretty much perfectly. And then Antique, which I feel like you can see almost does have a bit of like a greeny undertone to it. It's really, really pretty. So taking that Whisper shade on the outer half of the lid, I'm just tapping that, obviously where that eye primer is still a little bit tacky, and then Antique on the inner half. Ooh, that Antique shade is pretty. I like that shade. I like that shade a lot. Okay, so that Antique shade, I am going to just live in. That is so pretty. It's like so many different colours. So pretty. Like, it's just beautiful. So I'm just going to go back in with that first fluffy brush. Again, no more colour, but just blend over that top edge. I do feel like they have like tapped across the centre of the lid, like joined together quite nicely. Like I just sort of went backwards and forwards and tapped over with the two. I do feel like they have sort of blended across the lid very, very nicely. I'm just adding a little bit more on this side, just even it up a little bit. Yeah, I like how that's looking. I mean, because I'm using my fingers and like my nails are so long at the minute, I am getting like a lot down here. If my nails were shorter, that wouldn't even be an issue. But I'm going to take a liner brush, like this sort of shape, like a flat liner brush, and I'm going to go into, what am I going to go into? I feel like I want something not too deep, but still deep enough that you can see it as a wing. Let's go in with Filigree, which is this one. I was deciding between Filigree or Pine, which is this one, but I feel like Filigree is still deep enough where you will be able to see it, but it's not going to just show up as black, which I feel like Pine potentially could on my skin tone. So taking Filigree, and I'm going to stamp this along the lash line, almost like a smoky wing. Like I don't want this to be too precise or anything, and then I'm just taking it along where that tape is, and then when we remove the tape you will see that it leaves a nice sharp line. So you can see like that's added like quite a bit of like definition and depth right along the lash line on this side. And I do feel like having that tape there and basically just tapping it into the tape rather than trying to create any sort of line, it's so much easier. So much easier. I really like that green shade with those purples and with that Antique shade on the centre of the lid. I do feel like that all sort of ties in quite nicely. It's not too crazy kooky, you know? So that is all I'm going to do on the lid. So let me remove this tape. This is where we see if I applied these straight or if it's the middle of the day. Why are the fireworks going off, please? I'm so confused. This is where we see if I applied those straight or like equal. I'm quite happy with how that's looking. I do just want to tap a little bit more green here. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how that's looking. Those shimmers are beautiful. They're so iridescent and so many different colours. So I am going to go off, do the rest of my face, and then we can decide what I want to do under the eyes. Maybe just something quite purple to like tie in the lid. I don't want to go too crazy today. Honestly, I've been sat here fiddling with my camera for so long, my brain has gone numb. So I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then we can finish up under the eyes together. Okay, so that is the rest of the face done. I went so overboard with bronzer that I had to apply a second layer of foundation. Of course I did. It's November, of course I'm wearing too much bronzer, of all things. So before I put on, I haven't got any mascara on yet because I want to finish up the eyes first. So let's see, what do I want to do? So this is the shade that I use like through the crease. Do I just wiggle that along the lower lash line and call it a day, or do I want the green? I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna start just with that petal shade that I used first and wiggle that all the way along the lower lash line. I'm also like very, very lightly tapping over that line just to soften it a little on the outer corner. I might put a bit of that green. Let's finish this colour first. Not get ahead of myself. Yeah, I think I will just take that like long liner brush and go into the same green shade that I did the wing and just stamp a little bit of that on the outer third-ish, but not too neatly. Again, something just a little bit smoky. Yeah, on the outer corner. We'll join it up with that wing. Yeah. That will absolutely do. I love green and purple together. You will be so bored of hearing me say that, but I really, really do. Then I'm just going to take, I want a really, really small brush. Let's use this one. Really, really tiny little like pencil brush. And I will go into Luster, which looks like this. I am hoping that that will show up quite nicely. That's a nice inner corner highlight. Let's see how that goes right on that inner corner. Ooh, yeah, that's quite purple as well. I like it though. Yes, that will do. That shade like tapped onto the very inner corner and then like blended out into those other shimmers that I've got across the lid. I feel like that looks beautiful. That's adding a little bit more purple, but it's still bright and it's like catching the light. I really, really like that shade. So I'm going to do a healthy amount of mascara. I'm going to use the Essence Lash Like a Boss Instant Lift and Curl Mascara. Get a load of this on the top and bottom lashes and then I am done. That is me done. The first impression for Muse. I knew that I would enjoy it. I knew that I would love these like greeny tones. And they certainly haven't disappointed with those purples as well. So pretty. I would absolutely love to hear, did you pick up Muse in this restock that they just recently did? I'm hoping, in fact, let me get this clip out of my hair. I'm hoping that this is still in stock. Let me look, because I know a lot of you were waiting for more of the items to come back into stock. Yeah, item is currently in stock. So if you are interested in the Muse palette, it is now available. I do believe all of their other palettes are available apart from the Delicious Delights, which I rank as my favourite one, but they are all beautiful. Whatever colour story is like talking to you, I highly, highly recommend it. Like I say, I will be doing a eyeshadow palette bingo with this palette because I love doing them, and it seems like you like watching them as well, so I will be doing that very, very soon. I do also have the, what was it called, the Sinister mystery bundle box thing coming with an eyeshadow palette in it. I have it coming. I don't know when that will be dispatching. I think by the time this goes up, it might be on the way to me, because I am pre-filming a little bit ahead of time. Hopefully it's not too much longer. If you want to see that, like unboxed, swatched, try on, whatever is in there, I am so excited about it. I love a mystery box. If you want to see that, I will be posting that like as soon as that arrives. I probably will be filming, editing and uploading that all in one day to get that out for you, because I'm very, very excited about that one. I need to do eyeshadow palette bingo for Winter Wonderland, I realised recently, and yeah, I need to do eyeshadow palette bingo for this one. So there's loads more cosmic brushes content coming up if you want to see more from little old me. This palette, I feel like this is very autumnal. I'm very, very excited about playing with this some more, especially some more of these shimmers, especially that green one that matches my nails before I go and get them redone. But thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.